And that I would, as much as I possibly can, I encourage you, if you're an agency and you're partnered with somebody, reach out to your channel manager and say, hey, how can we do more business together? How can we sell? And by the way, that doesn't mean go sell ActiveCampaign. Like, we're not calling Dobbin and saying, hey, what do you got for us this month? We're talking with Dobbin and we're saying, how do we help you sell more of your packages? And ActiveCampaign is naturally in those packages as well as other solutions. But that's our goal, isn't to sell more ActiveCampaign. It's for our agencies to sell and make more money. In turn, we get to be a part of that solution.
Hey everybody, Dobbin Buck coming to you not from the GetUWired cabin headquarters, but from my home, because I am on homework due to Corona, COVID-19, whatever we're calling it today. So, coming to you from my house, super duper honored to have my longtime friend and cohort, Corey Snyder, on the cabin signal today. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. We're going to talk a little bit about our history, where we got to know each other. But Corey is the channel director for ActiveCampaign, which is a partnership that GetUWired takes very seriously. So all you small business owners, all you people out there that are interested in marketing automation, perhaps you traditionally know GetUWired as being focused on InfusionSoft and Keep, but we cover a broad variety of different platforms. And one of our favorites is ActiveCampaign, not only as a product, but as the people behind it. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But Corey, welcome today to the Cabin Signal.
Thanks for having me. It's you say it's an honor, I say it's an honor. We've done a lot of work together, and we spent a lot of time personally and professionally together. So I'm excited to talk a little bit about the past 10 years as marketing automation has evolved, and what does that look like? What have we been through from small agency to big agency, from sales guy to building and running channel teams now. So it's going to be, I have no doubt it's going to be an exciting conversation with several tangents and rabbit holes, but we'll try to not to go too deep in this.
Yeah, good luck on that one. So that's great. And, Corey and I, we've known each other for over a decade. And where we first met was when GetUWired was a small team. I mean, like 5 or 6 people. Now we're 40 plus team, but we were really small. We were in a little office and we were building websites. And as a company, we got this solution called InfusionSoft. And we started utilizing it, and we started doing email drip campaigns that were going out to our prospects and our clients to educate them on what GetUWired did, and to try and elevate participation from the general public and what we had going on. And so InfusionSoft made that real easy. And there was like nothing else at the time that did this stuff, to where you could set up a campaign and deliver emails out of a system and track, CRM system that you can track notes on people. In that day and age, you would have to have 4 or 5 different software solutions, all of which none of them connected properly.
Yep.
So InfusionSoft really brought something to the table, and that's where Corey and I met. And I'll tell a quick little story. Maybe he'll tell a little bit of his version of it. But he was working sales over at InfusionSoft, and we had been using it, and we sold a few units to people that we built websites for. And so he was trying to sell more InfusionSoft apps. So one day I get a call, and it's like, "Hello, Dobbin, this is Corey Snyder from InfusionSoft, and I just wanted to be the first person to let you know that you have been awarded with becoming a InfusionSoft partner." And I was like, "Oh, wow, isn't this cool? What an honor, here in Dahlonega, our little office and everything. I'm a partner with this incredible company." He's like, I'm going to send you some swipe copy. I'd just like you to send this out to your entire list.
Did I really sound like that? No.
And so there was a beautiful relationship making because I did what he told me. And we turned a lot of people onto marketing automation, and these were all early adopters. So early on, it was like info marketers, and it wasn't a lot of small businesses, people that were, you know, trying to get out, sell consulting, selling different digital programs and things in the early days. But I mean, it's been an incredible road since then. When you say, Corey?
I would agree. It's that was my first go at building a channel program and team and organization. And back then it was, you're exactly right. I recognized an opportunity and saw I can continue doing the same thing every salesperson does, which is get the generated leads, or I can create my own. I can look at my own self-generated leads and build out relationships. And when I looked at those relationships, I really looked at three things. A lot of times those relationships, the money and commission they make has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with reputation and how I represent their brand, if you will. And so I just did what I could, and I was blessed with the gift of sales and bringing customers in, as well as just making those individuals that I worked with and for look really, really good as far as recommending other solutions that they potentially should go with instead of InfusionSoft at the time. And that's when our relationship started really evolving. Was I needed also, on the flip side, I needed to convert customers. And so Dobbin and GetUWired, you were my people to say they need help on the product and you guys were experts, or API work and you guys were the experts. As you mentioned earlier, things weren't connected. APIs back then were not what they are today or where they're going in the future. And so connecting solutions was super difficult back then. But luckily enough, I had that relationship with you to say, hey, here's somebody that could really connect these two. Can you guys make it happen? You always did. So
yeah, that's great. And gosh, we had a long road. So Corey and I, for those of you who don't know, that so Corey was my connector at InfusionSoft, or GetUWired connector, and he and I developed verticalized programs and a lot of different things that broke all the sales records at InfusionSoft. So out of Dahlonega, Georgia, the backwoods of North Georgia, bunch of hillbillies, we're breaking all the sales records internationally.
Yep.
Because, you know, Corey had a lot of vision, knew how to leverage our strengths, and he and I partnered, and man, we did incredible things, which helped us. You know, it was one of the catalysts that really helped grow our agency from, you know, less than 10 people to now, you know, a small army of incredibly talented young people. And it was really through not only the partnership with that software, but really the partnership with my partner connector and my cohort, you know, my business development partner. So
yeah, I mean, you, Melissa and Bobby have done a great job at looking at thought leadership as, look, there's other information out there. Whether it's like information you want to absorb, at the end of the day, it's information that you can look at and say, there's a different perspective that we may not see. Backwoods of Georgia or not, you guys are really, really good at saying, look, you were really good at saying, Corey, you're in this every day. This is what you live. You've lived this for 4 years by the time I went to leadership and really started running the team. So I had sold, and I was the #1 sales rep for InfusionSoft for 4 straight years by an entire month gap. So I was crushing everyone. And so you were good. You were really good at saying, okay, what are you doing? How are you doing this? What's working well? What verticals are you selling like crazy that are good fits right now? And so not only did you have an opportunity to dig into the sales rep to say, what are you seeing in the industry? What's kind of coming about? Is it real estate? Is it fitness? Is it on the medical side? Is that really where it's coming, right? Early in the days, it was our info marketers. Everybody knew that. But during the years, these different hiccups, if you will, or increases, if you will, of certain industries started popping up, and you'd be able to have literally ear to the ground with me because I was selling them. And so you were able to then look at verticals to say, I wonder if we should go after this vertical because of that. And then as you transition to the partnership and we transitioned to partner manager, you then tapped into that knowledge as well and saying, Corey talks to hundreds of thousands of agencies every day. Something's working in the sense of there are good and bad things that happen, different tactics and strategies and go-to-market strategies that work. And you guys are really, really good at saying, there are other people out there with knowledge. How do we take in that knowledge, make it ours, and then regurgitate it to being something that is GetUWired?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so amazing, what has transpired from those early days to now. And, we've still hung with this, being strategic developers in marketing automation, the things that you and I created in the early days. And I'm here to say, it's amazing, for a small business. So we're a rural-based small business agency, and certainly we have some notoriety now, but just my relationship with Corey, and I don't mean to limit it by saying just, because it's a big relationship, it still is, we did millions of dollars in revenue, and for a small homegrown business to be able to start generating that kind of flow is really a miracle. It's an incredible thing. And so Corey and I just talked the other day on Digital Marketers Partner Podcast about strategic partnerships and all of that. And so we're going to take a little bit of a different journey here today, but talk about marketing automation and what's going on. And when we talk about integrations, hopefully a lot of you out there, I'm sure when we talk about marketing automation, we're talking about ActiveCampaign, we're talking about InfusionSoft, Keep, Ontraport, HubSpot. Yep. Those are sort of the core ones that GetUWired works with. But, a lot has gone on, a lot has transpired, and a really cool thing and a front runner in this movement has been ActiveCampaign, and we're real excited at GetUWired about the new developments. And especially I'd like to talk to you a little bit as we get in about the deep dive integrations that ActiveCampaign has with your partners, because we see a lot of systems out there, and many of you may have one of the marketing automation systems that I mentioned, and you have, it integrates with QuickBooks, or it integrates with this, or it integrates with this, or it integrates with this. But somehow that integration always leaves a little bit lacking. Like, it doesn't quite pass. It doesn't communicate effectively. It gets you just enough, and you have to sort of move your strategy around the limitations of the data that's being passed between systems, like shopping carts and the CRM and marketing automation system. That's always sometimes it's good, sometimes it's a nightmare, but you guys have a lot of cool things. Why don't you, can you name a few of the deep dives that are really going on? And when I mean deep dives, it means that they haven't just made a bridge between systems. ActiveCampaign has worked with these other SaaS providers to provide a really fluid channel and gateway for automation to be able to just do incredible things, and I'm really stoked about it.
Yeah, I think we look at, if you look at ActiveCampaign as a whole, and you look at Jason as our CEO and founder, he looks at things just a little bit different. He looks at like, okay, where's the world going, versus like, how do we make it work now? And I think part of that is like future vision. Well, part of that is like, he's very much into API, and he knows that the current way that we do API is not necessarily the way that's going to evolve. And I think a lot of people aren't looking at API necessarily the way that Jason looks at it, which is, instead of trying to make a connection, how do we just put it inside ActiveCampaign? So in part of our automations and being able to send email and do all this kind of stuff and literally drag and drop, how cool would it be to just drag over Shopify? How cool would it be to just drag over Calendly? How cool would it be to drag over Spiffy? Our boys Michael Hunter over there making things happen, right? Or Yeti, or whatever, right? The point is that instead of having the integrations, and Zapier, they closed the gap in the industry and are doing a great job there, but there's still things that aren't connected that need to be transferred. And API does one thing, Zapier does another. But this, we're looking at really our app partners, which we just launched officially 2 weeks ago. We're really looking at those relationships and like, how do we make it where where the customer almost never has to leave ActiveCampaign, where they can almost transact and do everything they need to from inside there. Connect Calendly, connect Typeforms, connect Shopify, all from one centralized area. And so that's really the way we're looking at it, is like, how do we make this a little bit more seamless? So you'll hear a lot of times ActiveCampaign is talking more heavily around CXA, customer relationship automation. And what that is really that customer experience, that journey. And part of that journey isn't just them coming into the funnel and buying. It's not necessarily them implementing ActiveCampaign. It's everything that touches what they experience. That includes other applications that tap into ActiveCampaign. What's that journey look like? And so on and so forth. And so those are some of the things we're looking at. Salesforce is another one that we're really doing a deeper integration with. We look at it from a perspective, we want to be a part of the solution, not the solution. Right. And that allows us an opportunity to tap into other really solid and great CRMs, other really solid platforms that may do a portion or some of, if not all of what we do, but the customer prefers that, but we have badass marketing automation, right? So, and we're really the front leaders of changing that. And a lot of people say machine learning and things like that, but you'll hear ActiveCampaign talk about that from a customer CXA standpoint of routing, timing, reporting, and some really cool stuff that we're working on that we've launched, and some really cool things that are about to come to fruition.
Yeah, that's super cool. You know, you mentioned Zapier, and an interesting, just a side note on Zapier is that we've been doing a lot more deep dives. So we're Zapier partners, and deep dives into the functionality of their system, and it is really staggering and mind-blowing. You know, people somehow have a misconception that it's like email parsing or something like that. Somebody like that it's, you know, limited in the way that it connects. There are so many integrations and zaps between systems that they have. Easy. That it's mind-boggling. It's over 2,000. You know,
they're the elephant. Yeah, they own that industry for sure.
Yeah, and they're like ActiveCampaign. They're really cool companies. Zapier is a full work from home company.
Yep.
So I know that you work remotely from Arizona instead of being up in Chicago at ActiveCampaign, yep. But they've got some cool stuff. And hopefully on a future edition of the Cabin Signal, we're gonna, you know, be talking to Zapier. But yeah, you know, ActiveCampaign in so many different ways. You know, I've said this before in interviews, but I just want to say it again because it's an important thing. With our agency, GetUWired, the things that we look at when we're selecting a technology partner is, one, that it's a top-notch offering, so that the product itself actually does what it says and it's a quality offering. Two, that it will serve our clients in alignment with our own core values, okay? So we have a very specific set of core values. You can see them on the GetUWired website at www.getuwired.com. That matches that. Ultimately, that the people behind the software operate by core values that are in alignment with our core values. And then that we like the people at the top that are behind the software, that we can build friendships, that we can talk openly, transparently with, and all of that. And so that sounds like a lot when selecting, but for an agency, if we're going to base our reputation on a SaaS offering, well, you know, we have to be very selective because, you know, the systems that we choose, our clients are going to be hopefully utilizing for years, and we really have to honor their investment, and we want to honor them as small business owners. So ActiveCampaign completely aligns with, you know, that set of requirements. And I'll say this real quick, you know, where it became real apparent to me was we already liked the systems and we were very interested in it, but they invited us up to Chicago to their headquarters to do a deep dive, meet the team, all of this sort of thing. Yep. And it's mind-blowing what they've got up there. You should see their kitchen, you know. They've got like food galore. They've got I think they've got beer on tap there, but they've got like iced coffee on tap. everything you want. If you're an employee there, you can order from any local restaurant. They've got cool workplaces. They've got secret hidden rooms behind bookcases. You know, like they've got all the cool kid stuff, all the nerd factor that you could ever want. You know, it's like, you know, I thought we had something going on down at the cabin until I went up there. So you've got to really, so the software itself is, and the internal culture are sort of reflective of one another, wouldn't you say, Corey?
I would 100%. I've worked for some really cool cultures. I mean, InfusionSoft had a really cool culture with the football field, and that was all accidental, right? We were in a small office, and we needed to open up to another office, and there was a wall, so we cut a hole in the wall, and it just happened to be an old sports rehabilitation and performance thing. It had a 30-yard football field in it. You know, many rolled ankles. I don't think we broke anything, but the culture with ActiveCampaign is super awesome in the sense of, like, we expect greatness, as you should with any of your employees or any of the people that, and you expect them to honor the core values that they're and represent them. But on top of that, like, that comes with some of the perks, right? So now you got to come again when this COVID thing, this Rona thing is all chilling out. You can come back to ActiveCampaign's headquarters and come see. We have now a coffee bar with the baristas there, but we also cut a hole in the floor to put in some stairs. None of us have seen it actually because we haven't been there, but there's gonna be some really cool announcements and really cool things. But we want our partners on location. We want them in Chicago, taking a look at, doing a tour, meeting the team, meeting our leadership team. And by the way, I've worked for over the last 13 years in SaaS, so I've had a lot of leaders. We have some of the most amazing leadership from some different backgrounds, from sales, several people from Salesforce, several people from HubSpot, that bring these diverse perspectives from product, from culture, from you name it. And so I mean, I wish I could express, as much gratitude as I can over this last, 2 months of our office being closed and people working remote, and what ActiveCampaign has done for those individuals to keep them rolling, to keep them rocking, from giving them some budget to be able to get some work from home stuff and things like that. So anyways, incredible culture. Just past my year mark, so super pumped about that. But
yeah, that's incredible. We've got GetUWired has our own spy inside.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So our CEO, Melissa Allen's brother, graduated from Harvard and got a job over there with Corey at ActiveCampaign.
And he's amazing. He's amazing. He's making me. I didn't really know him, but I referred him, and he's making me look good. Like, oh, we want more Core's referrals, and I'm over here like, hey, Doc, what else you got? What do you got for me?
Yeah. So it's in the family. So Nick Wheeler's up there, and he's doing a great job, and he just loves it. So really, really exciting stuff. And I can't wait to go back. I can't wait for this COVID thing to lift up. I need to do some fly fishing trips, and then get caught up on some of these business trips and go up there. Let's talk a little bit. You guys got some cool stuff going on. So I've sent my team several days down to Atlanta, but you guys prior to COVID have been doing like this amazing tour for ActiveCampaign users from city to city. And the feedback that I got from my team, now bear in mind, my team are like all nerdy coders that have been doing marketing automation forever. Like they already know ActiveCampaign. They know InfusionSoft. They know everything inside and out, but they went down to your just general training. It wasn't like advanced training, it was general training. And all of them came back with a great experience, that they picked up stuff. What's your thought around that? And are you going to continue that once this stuff lifts? Are you keeping doing this city to city tour for people that use ActiveCampaign?
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of great success. I think, again, it's all about evolution. When you look at any product, the world is evolving, right? Right now we are literally evolving into who knows what it's going to look like in 6 months from now, as far as the world is concerned, our economy, and so on and so forth. And so you always have to think about, how do you evolve, right? The partner programs, my partner programs that I build, are never done. I will evolve them every single year. and I'll look at, are we 3 years ahead? Are we 3 years ahead? Majority of that's assumptions and looking at data and stuff like that. But that ties into what we're doing as far as our study halls. And that's what we call them, as our study halls. And we did, I think, close to 200 last year, 150 to 200 last year. I could be completely wrong as well, but I know it was about 200 all over the world. And the idea was behind it was like, we can hold an event. We can do like one massive event where we get 3,000 maybe customers. If we're lucky, 6,000, which would be a big event. All of these small businesses to try to come in for a 3-day event and absorb it, or we can come to you and we can impact 40 people at 50 people at an event times 200. Right now we're impacting a large amount of customers and we're getting in front of them. And so we have some incredible trainers, Shiv being one of them. He gets a ton of props because he's really good at what he does. But yeah, there are these little study halls that our customers and our partners can come to learn a little bit more about tips and tricks on ActiveCampaign. Like you said, it's not really a deep dive. It's really looking over the system as a whole, holistically, and strategies and tactics. But we've seen so much great success and feedback from that from our customers and partners. It's been incredible. But imagine evolution is going to happen. I think we just did our first virtual one, actually, I think last week. So evolution is happening, right? Is like, how do we continue to scale at the speed at which we want to scale, and the impact we have on our customers as far as using the solution. But yeah, those study halls have been really, really impactful and a really good comparison to the live event.
Yeah, that's great. I like the idea of the virtual ones, but for my team, one thing that they really dig is like getting out of the office or getting out of their house if they work remotely and going, on location, pressing palms with people when we still shook hands and all of that sort of thing. So that was really cool. And I hope you guys keep that up. And for all of you that are out there, perhaps watching this video, if you are ActiveCampaign customers, keep an eye out for these opportunities. You may be leveraging an agency or not, as far as building out systems, but ultimately with these training days, these study halls, you can't go wrong. Go have meet some cool people, learn some cool stuff, have a great lunch, and nearby. So keep an eye out for that programming. I know that we could only, I think we sent down 7 or 8 people at a time when you guys were in town. Mm-hmm. And there was, there was a bunch more people. We still have a business to run. We can't all be in ActiveCampaign study hall, but there was a lot of people that were like, "Oh, I'll get it next time." We could send everybody down there, but that's a really cool thing. I'll give another shout out since we're talking about your organization. So Corey and I have been friends for a long time, and we connect and we have a friendship, but I don't work directly with Corey at ActiveCampaign. I work with a incredible woman named Elizabeth Bailey. So as certified partners, we have, is she called a regional partner manager, or what is your official title?
We call them channel account managers for now. We're mixing up some things, but as far as titles concerned, but yeah, channel account managers, Cam.
Our channel account manager, Elizabeth Bailey, she's just the most warm-hearted, charismatic, intelligent, helpful individual that you could ever imagine, and it says a lot about their company by who we interact with and the experience we have from them. It's always like a really, we need help. We're the sort of people back here that, we need help from people. And, when we ask for help, it's never let's see what we can do. It's more like, great. That makes perfect sense. I'll get right on it. I may not have a solution, but I know someone that does. Get back with you, and they deliver on their promises. So, I'm fortunate to work with several companies that do deliver on their promises. Others not so much, but that's that's okay. We can't all be perfect. But anyway, whenever I talk about ActiveCampaign, I got to give a shout out to Elizabeth, right? She
is amazing. But that's another good example. I'm glad you brought her up because there's a lot of partners out there that don't take advantage of their channel account managers or their connection, if you will, their partner managers, their regional partner managers, whatever you want to title them as. They don't leverage them as much as they possibly can, right? We together, again, millions, but hundreds, probably 500, 600, 700 accounts, if not 1,000. Actually, no, it'd be more than that. You were selling 200 to 300 a year. So like we sold thousands of accounts together, right?
Yep.
Partners don't leverage their channel managers enough at all. I mean, that's a person that talks to thousands of agencies every year, which means there's tactics and strategies that works, thought leadership that work, things like that. You've done, again, a great job at doing that. Hence, I think there's a lot of success as far as your relationship with the solutions that you guys work with. Because you look at Elizabeth Bailey, who is extremely skilled, been in the industry for several years, and has a background and experience with HubSpot too. So now she's sold and been there at HubSpot for years. Now she's at ActiveCampaign for years. And you have a completely different perspective of pros and cons from a true directional standpoint. And so, but you get the chance to leverage that expertise and that knowledge. And that I would, as much as I possibly can, I encourage you, if you're an agency and you're partnered with somebody, reach out to your channel manager and say, hey, how can we do more business together? How can we sell? And by the way, that doesn't mean go sell ActiveCampaign. Like, we're not calling Dobbin and saying, hey, what do you got for us this month? We're talking with Dobbin and we're saying, how do we help you sell more of your packages? And ActiveCampaign is naturally in those packages as well as other solutions. But that's our goal, isn't to sell more ActiveCampaign. It's for our agencies to sell and make more money. In turn, we get to be a part of that solution.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely so true. And, when you talk about leveraging, so maybe some of you are GetUWired clients and you've had something go wrong with your systems, whatever your marketing automation platform was or some other aspect of it. Well, it's the day in, day out relationships with these, incredible people like my partner managers, my channel managers at these companies. And with Corey and I, when he was at InfusionSoft, we probably spoke several times a day. Like, daily. I talked to Corey more than I talked to people at GetUWired, and we had a lot going on, and the same thing. It's about, when you only call someone when you have a dire emergency or, there's a problem. Well, those people in your life that they only call you when they need something. Probably not the way to operate. We keep things flowing. We have a day in, day out conversation with these relationships, like with Elizabeth. My team is in regular contact with them, and and it's great, So when you wonder how GetUWired works some magic when something's broke or something and they can get it turned around quickly, it's because of these relationships that Corey is talking about that we're able to, hey, we need a little bit of help. We need this. So it goes beyond the business development and how we develop, products and things that we sell together, but also on the support side, it's like totally crucial for us and for our clients. So many of you watching this, if you're GetUWired clients, you probably in one way or another reap the benefits of these relationships. Well, that's really cool. So what's anything new on the with coming out of Corona, in regards to your vision, in regards to anything that you'd like to let people know about ActiveCampaign?
Yeah, I think we have some exciting new news to share with some people coming up as far as the company, as well as just channel perspective on our end. Is we are really putting a double down interest on agencies and making sure that we're serving you. Dobbin is a great example, that we're serving you at the best way possible, from a program perspective, from a people perspective, from a journey perspective, and really looking at what is our partner journey. A lot of people forget that everybody thinks about a customer journey all the time. They never really think about their partner journey. And while you may not be a large business like ActiveCampaign or a software solution or anything like that, if you're an agency, you should still be thinking about what's that experience for for your vendors? What's that experience for those app partners you're partnered with? And what's the experience for anybody that's referring you business? And really putting that down to say, what is that experience, and how do I just make that a little bit more smooth? Because the smoother you can make it, the easier it is for them to refer people over. So we launched our first iteration of that as our V1 agency program a couple weeks ago. And over the next couple months, over the next year or so, we're going to, again, evolve on that and change it and make it a little bit better for those people that are serving our customers, because we want to make sure that they are successful as they help us keep our customers around, as you guys do.
Great, incredible. Now, providing that we get out of this COVID madness at some day and age, you guys are a big sponsor of traffic and conversion this year, correct?
Yeah, so we're the main sponsors for traffic and conversion. So it needs to go well because it's my fault I made it happen. But yeah, so we're going to be the main sponsors for traffic and conversion. Super excited. It's an event for obviously small businesses, and they're really serving the audience and our relationship with digital marketer. We just, again, as you mentioned, we just did an educational piece for their agency partners last week. And we know that there's a lot that ActiveCampaign can offer, bottom line, to a lot of these small businesses that put us in a position to be able to showcase, kind of what we're doing, all the way from, to your point, all the way from culture to some of the thought leadership we have on product, from customer experience, CXA, the idea behind machine learning. What does that mean? Because it's getting to be a term that's overused, similar to marketing automation. And what does that mean from our perspective? Like, how are we visualizing it and looking at it? And that all plays into the routing and the timing and reporting and things like that. But we're going to be sharing a ton of that. But really, we want to share who we are as ActiveCampaign, and what we're doing and what our goals and mission is in regards to really evolving and changing the way that people look at marketing automation, and really pushing hard on customer experience automation. The experience of the customer is what keeps the customer. So how do we just make that and look at all of the different approaches holistically, not just closed-minded, like, here's our solution, how do they play here, and more of like, what are our customers, who else are they talking to? So that comes down to the experience with our partners, our app integrations, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely. And what Corey's talking about is not just their customers, but they're talking about your customers. So this is all an extension. The gestalt of their methodology and how they relate to business is also how their software helps you to relate to business. So it's really useful. The customer experience automation and the way that the flavor of ActiveCampaign is really unique. It's really special and totally worth looking into. Yeah, traffic and conversion was supposed to be in
March,
April, March, yeah. April, first week of April, I think. They had to cancel it. Now March? Yeah, I don't know what day it is, but it's going to be in this December. And so, if you're a small business owner, you're interested in digital marketing. We talked about marketing automation here, but it covers the full gambit. Great keynote speakers, great speakers in general, a huge area of vendors, incredible. ActiveCampaign is the main sponsor for this year's event. So it's an event that I go to personally every year. I never miss it. I've been every year that they've had it, and I will continue to go every year. The people that run from Digital Marketer that are running it, those cats, they're just brilliant, wonderful people. So if you're going to one event this year and you're interested in digital marketing, you're interested in marketing automation, you're interested in moving your business forward and learning from the best and the brightest, traffic and conversion is totally worth your consideration. And
I agree.
You can probably visit Corey at the ActiveCampaign booth.
That's what I was going to say. COVID or no COVID, I'm a hugger. I hug people that I care about. I'd love to see how many people come by the booth that are listening to this and give me a hug. I mean, if you're into that. I am. I love people. So I mean, I'm in the business of relationships. That's what I do. So
he is a hugger, I will say.
The only thing I'm going to add, and this is just a shameless plug because we went live today, is we just launched our marketplace of recipes. And what we call recipes are our automations. And what's cool about it is I believe you actually have some of those recipes inside the marketplace. So I think we started with 250 recipes so far, and we're adding on the daily basis from internal to our partners. We have over 9,000 partners that are going to be adding these recipes and these tips and tricks as far as automations. Campaigns is another word for it. But go check it out. Our marketplace, if you're a customer of ActiveCampaign, go check out the marketplace and see if there's any GetUWired automations that are out there given away for free.
Give it away for free?
I don't know. Are you?
We've been known to give away a few things for free. Yeah, that's great. Check out those recipes. Get on there once again. Just another, another example of them putting out, great and juicy information to help evolve the small businesses that embrace their software. And it's really cool. They're a great team to follow, and we'll continue following them. We're at the top of the interview, Corey. I really appreciate you coming, my brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And anybody that's listening, if you're not working with GetUWired, you're missing out. Like they have, when I talk about leadership, again, I've had, we've known each other for a long time, as far as Melissa and Bobby and Dobbin. You guys, the way they lead their people and the way they hold them accountable to success of their clients is amazing. So if you're not working with them, you're missing out. You need to find a way to work with them in one capacity or another. So go take a look at what they got as far as a vertical as perspective, but give Dobbin a call and see, if he can if he'll take you fly fishing.
Yeah. People that come to the GetUWired cabin, if we're doing a day-long strategy, we have a jam on site. Many times people will schedule a couple days or an extra day if we're working for more than one day, and go out fly fishing with me in the backwoods of North Georgia. If you haven't checked out my Instagram, I'm at Dobbin, Dobbin on Instagram. I was an early adopter, and you can see me in all my fly fishing glory. And so as a GetUWired customer, that qualifies you to come fly fishing with me if you're visiting the cabin. Once again, if you're interested in learning more about ActiveCampaign, if you're interested in learning more about a variety of different systems, InfusionSoft, ActiveCampaign, HubSpot, Entreport, and getting a realistic comparison and what will fit best for your company, go to the GetUWired website, www.getuwired.com, and request a consult with one of our incredible consultants. Ultimately, all systems don't do everything for everybody. We can help you work through that solution. Whether you buy it from us or not, or work with us or not, we're really interested in giving the best and most valid information out to today's small businesses. So once again, thank you, Corey. Thank you all for joining the Cabin Signal today with the legend himself, Corey Snyder from ActiveCampaign. Right
Thank
on.
you.